evening, morning, afternoon, whatever it is when you watch this video. It's 9:37. I don't know, Sunday night, close to Halloween, so whatever makes that this date. A couple things caught my mind. I always like to get people thinking. One thing I was thinking about is you got a lot of college kids out here protesting for Hamas, right? And for Palestine and their agenda, but they also support open borders. In fact, our open borders, which really doesn't make any sense because they're fighting because they don't want the Israelis coming in there, setting up shop. And I think they've heard the word colonizing, right? But you want open borders in America that have other people doing the same thing. And you're supposed to be in college. So I didn't go to college. So technically on paper, you're supposed to be smarter than me. And right now you just all sound like a bunch of idiots. Like usual. But this is really for the left to get you thinking. How are you going to support that and our open borders? Then, I said, we've all heard Trump say, they're not after me, they're after you, I'm just in their way. And we all see how Trump's being treated. And and I said it's a example, he's being used as an example, and his supporters will be treated the same way. You can take the January 6th rioters and the people that just went into the whatever in D.C. and stormed that, started raising Cain about free Palestine or whatever. Quit sending Israel war aid or whatever it was. Didn't pay much attention because I know for a fact if half of you that are backing it up actually did your research and seen what they were about, maybe it would change your mind, maybe not. It doesn't really matter. What matters is anyways, yeah. Back to that whole Trump thing. So, I've been keeping up. I'm not sure why McCarthy got booted out as speaker. You got this new guy in. And he sounds like a win to me, but, he's a God-fearing man. So the left hates him automatically. Which, if you hear how the news is trying to cover him and how they're making him out to be, he had a job to do as a defense lawyer, right? And all defense lawyers have a job to do. If you get out there and murder someone, it's their job to try to get you off. Or the lightest sentence possible. All right? You don't have to like a defense attorney, but that's their job. Just like if you're a criminal, you probably don't like the police because it's their job to keep you off the streets and make sure you're punished for the crimes you commit. Alright, so he had a job to do as a defense attorney, and so it was for religious reasons. That just means he has no problem standing up for his faith. If anything, that's admirable, even though I don't agree with all the idiocracy out there and dumb things going on. At least you're standing up for something you believe in. I'm not going to fault you for that. Just things you believe in are quite ignorant. And I don't mind saying it, you should really pick up the Bible sometime. But back to it. So, a guy that's from Louisiana, right, makes Speaker of the House. And lo and behold, what happens next? And to my knowledge, no one's raising an eyebrow about it. But a big protest happens on a college campus in Louisiana for a free Palestine or whatever. So, one way or the other, and they've already said that he's a big Trump supporter, or backed Trump, or backed up the fact that the elections were rigged, was indeed rigged. I'm sorry if you don't see that. if a Republican doesn't win this go around and you decided to change your vote, it's too late to see it. All right, you had your chance. I definitely want to hear it was stolen or it was rigged, because we've already told you that. I mean, I've already said it's probably going to happen again. They've already said Trump ain't going to win again. Again, they have said it. They said it the first time before re-election. They're saying it again before this election process. They're going to make sure of it. So they say that's why he's got all these charges. A little bit up caught, the FBI is supposed to be watching any Trump supporters. Hope you like hiking, like I've said. But, so, I'm not even sure if that was even undercovered, the big riot happening on the... I mean, it's not like the left is hiding what they're doing with the two-tier justice system and all that stuff. But for those of you who aren't religious, and you see a man who openly admits his faith, what he believes in, what his standards are, and how some people start reacting. Now, they're not reacting to the man as a person, they're reacting to his faith. Now, so for those of you who don't believe, I want you to think for a minute, take yourself outside of all the distractions they have out there for us. And they're there for a reason, to keep us away from God. But, I almost forgot where I was going. Got to get it back. Brain's going. Oh yeah. So you see how these people are reacting, especially on the left news media. What they're calling him, they're calling him a threat. Just like they call Donald Trump a threat, President Trump a threat, right? I'm sure most people, even those who voted for Biden, unless you're just an absolute criminal, feel more threatened now walking down the street than you did when Trump was in office. I could be wrong, but I'd almost be willing to put money on it. Then again, I'm a gambling man, so it doesn't really say much. How many bet on football and cards? Because I mean, it's a gamble, it's a race, horses, gambling. So anyways, if you don't believe in God, see how people react. These people reacting to this man who is open about his faith and what his standards are. And he's a threat because he doesn't, believe in abortion. He believes in pro-life, then that makes him a threat. Now I've heard one of the left channels say, or he's been an advocate for pro-life. That doesn't mean, but they try to say he's going to ban abortion. I don't think you can ban abortion altogether, legally, because there is the woman's health issue. And because people have been brainwashed to take science over religion, the value of life, especially an unborn baby's life, is devalued. Of course, if you're not a believer, you can pick up the book and read Revelation and see what all the hype is about, why everybody's screaming in times. I've said it, but I just really don't think. I'm not saying it ain't close. It's always getting closer every day, but there's too many people screaming about it. I think religion would have to be like in China. We have to go underground with it. I don't know. I could definitely be wrong. It's just that no one will know the hour that I come. Always stays in the back of my mind when everyone's like, the end is coming, the end is coming. But I'm trying to stay on point. Those really just the only two things that have caught my mind here lately. But if you're not religious, it's funny how scared it seems like they get when somebody comes in there with morals and values, principles that once upon a time were America's. But I guess just do that, have some fun with that. I was trying to run up just a little bit more time, but almost got it to 10 minutes. It's more of a, I don't know, the longer the video is, a higher rate, something, I don't know. But Just keep an open mind. If you're not religious, think about those things. But seriously, if you got a friend on the left who's supporting the Palestine movement or whatever, and our open borders, and the fact that they want to disarm Americans, because, I mean, you gotta think what would happen if some of these guys had guns over there when they're being kidnapped and everything else, and all these things happening. You know, war is bloody and messy, and you can't really do much against the bomb, except hope it misses you. Or, if you're not a believer, you could take what the Bible asks us to do. Take a look around and see what's going on, and see what the major difference is, and ask yourself why. Been hearing, and you know, God sent the devil down to the earth, and he's the prince of this realm. That makes complete sense. If you guys haven't found it, heard about it, or seen it, definitely take the time to try to find Hillary Clinton's speech when a guy gets dragged out for asking about Jeffrey Epstein's island and her husband going there over 20-something times. Grown man was dragged out, right, because of that. I don't know, it's probably been all over the news. Some of these other creators I watch, they watch other creators, and you know, some of the word kind of gets around to all of us, I guess. Everybody want to try to get the real stories out there before the news gets a hold of it. So if you haven't pieced that together yet, definitely ask yourself, well, all of a sudden the riot in New Orleans, when the man from New Orleans, who's a God-fearing man, is now the Speaker of the House. And of course, the whole border thing and supporting Palestine, the Palestine movement or whatever. Things that definitely make you go, Now, if you got these college kids out here openly supporting Palestine and their violent acts to the women and children, and they're also wanting you to be disarmed, well, I wouldn't be sending my kids to no colleges for sure, but maybe if you're one of those people, ask yourself, what kind of logic is that? And of course, just because you take guns from innocent, law-abiding citizens doesn't mean the criminals won't have them, because they got them now. Ask Chicago. But alright, I run up enough of everybody's time. Things that make you go, right? Enjoy your night, day, whatever it is, everybody. Enjoyed you taking time to watch me. Thank you. Hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what you think. Alright then.